Greetings, I am Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator today with Pillar Loves Tabletop Games. Today's episode is a very welcome surprise. Scythe. Goal of Scythe is to have the most coins at the end. Coins are represented with these little cardboard tokens, or you can get the upgrade kit with the metal ones. In order to get coins, you're going to have to do a number of things. You're going to want to place your stars on the objectives up here. Get all your upgrades, your mechs, your structures, enlistments, workers, your secret mission, win 2 combats, max out popularity, max out your power. Once you have them, they're yours. Nothing can take them away. You're going to want to control territories. As long as you have people there, or at least one of your structures, you'll be in control of that territory. Bear in mind, people take precedence over structures, so if your opponent moves in and you only have a structure there, they will control it. And every 2 remaining resources you have left will be worth points. Or coins. In order to make things worth more coins to you, you're going to need to build up your popularity with the people. So, as part of the setup for the game, you will have one of your factions. These 2 do not start in the game, the base game. They are added in with the expansion. Your faction starts with the 4 mechs on their ability spaces and 4 open slots where you can place your enlistment bonuses. And your special faction ability. You'll start with power and combat cards according to those effects. As you build mechs, you will open up special abilities. Every faction is going to have a river walk ability and speed, but each faction's river walk is going to be different. And then different factions have different approaches to the middle 2. You'll also have your action board. It'll be one of 5 different ones. You'll put your faction markers on, tokens on here. Each slot gives you 2 things to do, if you wish to do them. The top action and the bottom action. The bottom actions are in the same alignment for every board, but up here is going to be different for each action board. This is how you will do stuff during the game. You will track that you are doing stuff by placing your marker there. And unless you're playing as Russ Viet, you cannot do the same action, same slot twice. Your action board will give you your starting popularity, your starting coins, and your starting secret missions. Over the course of the game, you can choose to fulfill one of your 2 missions. Alright. So, once everybody will set up with their character and 2 workers, their starting cards, their starting coins, mechs on their action board, or mechs on their faction board, and everything else on the action board. And starting with the first player, which is going to be, I believe, whoever has the lowest number on their action board, that player will go first. Okay, so faction mat, player mat. Alright. Right. Let's see here. And make absolute sure, because it's been a little while since I played this, but I still remember just enough. let's see here. Yeah, lowest number. So, industrial having a 1 versus mechanical having the 4 means the Polandia faction will go first. So, what are all the actions on the player mat? All right. First off, there's move or gain money. So, for each move, you get to move one thing. So you can move a worker out or your character out. Or you can move your mechs. Let's say we start here so we can get right to production. Or you can choose to hold your ground to get money. Money is going to be how you win. Once you have your mine built, you can use that as a connection to the tunnels. You can move between tunnels as well. In order to cross the rivers, you're going to need to open up the river walk ability on your mechs. And you can only move to those destinations. Your mechs also have the built-in advantage of they can pick up any number of workers when they move and drop them off. Okay. And what can you do when you move? Once after you've moved. Alternatively, you might choose the production action. You'll produce on 2 separate spaces that have your workers, and you'll get the resources for each worker there. So here, we can produce food and wood. Your resources stay in those spaces, and if you move your workers, they can take the resources with them. But if somebody moves in and kicks your workers out, then they have access to your resources. Wherever you move your characters and mechs into opposing spaces, you may start a battle, which we'll get into later. As you make more workers, it will cost you more to do production. In addition, if you've built a mill, wherever it is, it counts as 1 worker towards production. Try to do it early for as cheap as possible. If you're trying to make more workers, that'll show the meeple where you can get more of them. You may try to get resources in an alternative way. So you pay money to trade. You either get 2 resources of your choice, or you might choose to get popularity instead. It says to trade with meeple, and that's kind of a curious thing. I'm going to double check on that one. Let's see here, trade. The rule book is really nice. I like the way it's kind of set up pretty well. Alright, trade. You have to place them on a territory you control to work on it. You may not take the trade action to pay for resources if all your workers are back at home. So let's say we trade here, we spend the money, and we put the resources we get here. You want to trade where you've got people you can protect with your character or with your mechs. And then finally, there's Pay to either bolster your power or get another combat card. If you've built, if you did your trade action and you have your armory built, you get power. If you did your bolster action and you built your monument, you get popularity. Structures can only be built on non-lake spaces where you have workers, and you can only build one structure per space. You can build on the factory if you get to that point. Something to keep in mind with building structures is the special objective for the game. There are 6 in the base game, and this one is build in a row. The rivers don't break it up, but the lakes will. So let's say I wanted to try to focus on this. I might try to build here, 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 and here. Once you've done the top row action, if you choose to do so, you now have the option to do the bottom row action. From the left, pay 3 oil to upgrade. Take one of these cubes and move it down to an empty spot down here. Upgrades give you more to do up here and make the things you do down here cheaper. Whichever action you end up doing down here, if it's got coins, you get coins. And if you fulfilled your enlistment, you'll get that bonus too. Upgrades give you extra power. Deploy, pay metal, and get mechs. And get an extra coin if you've fulfilled that enlistment. Your mechs are built where your workers are. Which, if you're feeling defensive, might give you that quick little defense discouragement. It's worth noting this is not a war game. If you try to play it like one, you're going to be very low on points by the end. Here is build. You'll spend wood and build the structure where you've got your worker, possibly getting coins if it's got it. If you fulfilled your enlistment bonus, you get popularity. And finally, there's pay food and enlist. If you've fulfilled your enlist, then for that one, you'll get your combat card. Enlist lets you take one of these and move it to your faction mat, which will get you either 2 power, 2 coins, 2 combat cards, or 2 popularity. And you can only get each of those bonuses once per game. Whenever you or your neighbors, person to your immediate left or right, does this action, you get that. So if the people next to you haven't been doing that stuff yet, it's good to enlist those. But yeah, as you get all your upgrades, all your mechs, all your buildings, all your enlistments, all your workers, at least one of your missions, just whenever you... to complete the mission, you'll just show it on your turn. Like, have at least 20 coins at the end of your turn. You'll reveal it. You will discard the other mission and place a star there. You can win combats. You can max your popularity, max your power. But all that's going to happen as you do actions. Let's get into battles. So let's say these characters have met up here at the factory. The factory is worth 3 territories at the end, which is pretty big for endgame bonuses. And also entering the factory gives you a one-shot or a special upgrade card for your choice. So what will happen is each player will take a dial, set it to a number not exceeding their current power, and add up to 1 combat card from hand for each plastic figure they have there. So your character and your mechs. If you have all 5 of them together, that's potentially 5 combat cards. And then you'll reveal attacker wins ties, but whatever power you commit, you'll lose. The higher total will win, and the loser is sent back home. You don't actually get to kill anybody in this game. You send them home. Other things that can happen. Encounters. If you move your character into an encounter space, you remove the token and you draw a card. You'll have 3 options. The top option gives you popularity and something else. The middle option lets you pay money for stuff. And the third option lets you be a jerk. You spend popularity to gain a good number of stuff. And then the card goes out. Or you can hold on to it for your personal amusement. Eventually, the game is going to come to an end. It ends the moment somebody places their last star. And then it goes off of your popularity to determine what everything is worth to you. Your stars will be worth that much. Your territory is worth that much. Remember, the factory counts as 3. Remember that people take precedence over structures for determining control. If you have your structure there, that might be enough, but if somebody moves in, you're screwed. And any resources you have left. Every 2 is going to be worth points. Fulfilling the end game objective will get you points. And then the most coins wins. Expansions for this game include the other 2 factions. So the extended map board that flips this over and adds another board section and makes it the big board. The airships expansion, which some of our guys are okay with, others not so much. And the Rise of Fenris campaign. I played through it once. It features 2 of everyone's favorite historical characters of that time period. No spoilers. And it's pretty freaking cool. There's a modular board which shakes things up. The base game itself includes an automa in proud Stonemaier tradition. And it's just learning the game is going to be a little bit of see what happens. Do stuff and see what happens. And that's kind of part of the journey. You'll figure out how things kind of flow into each other. Like producing this stuff to make this other stuff, to do other things. To go over here and get that and all that. And it's just, again, it's not a war game. You're trying to develop, and yes, you might have some clashes with your opponents and get that combat win. Oh, there's the other thing. As long as you spent at least 1 power during the combat, you'll get a card. And cards are worth from 2 to 5 additional power. But yeah, it's just a fairly quick moving little game. Well, not really little. It's pretty friggin' huge. It's just a quick, it's a smooth flowing game. It's your turn. You do the top action. You do the bottom action if possible. You might do both of them. You might do neither one. It's entirely possible to just have a turn of being screwed, but it doesn't happen very often. And then it just goes until someone's placed their stars, and it's going to hit that point eventually because people are always doing stuff. They're eventually going to build their structures or their mechs or their upgrades. They're eventually going to get all the workers out. You want to try to find the 6 things that it's possible that is set up well for you to try and do, and then try to do that. So like over here, um, there's metal right there. There's people right there. That's focusing on workers and mechs. And since we're kind of setting things up for mechs, then we might look at getting into battle quite a bit. But yeah, this game has been around for what? How long? 2015? Man, this game's freaking old now. It's a modern classic, and it's worth playing. What I like about the game, just how smoothly things go. There's nothing too stupidly complicated about it. There's some. It is a little more advanced from other games, but again, this is not a war game. Don't get caught up in trying to fight people that you forget to. You're trying to build. There's been this war. Things have kind of broken down a bit. You are trying to rebuild and make something constructive. Be constructive in building your empire. So yeah, Scythe. If you've never played it before, I do recommend it. It is not cheap. Even secondhand, this game was not cheap. It's still cheaper than getting it new, but still. Um, if I recommend any expansions, it's get the other 2 factions box and get the additional encounters. If you really want the full experience, get the airships and get the campaign. Yeah, Scythe. Definitely recommending it. I do plan on doing the first few rounds. It's going to be rough. As you see, this game takes up a shitload of space. It is huge. In order for me to even try to do the 5-player game at the first few rounds stage, I'm probably going to need to set up my other table in here. And then watch me play it solo. I'm probably going to end up doing because it is the Automa. It tempts me. It challenges me. I have to take it on. All right. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator. I'll see you next time.